Hello, how are you? In this video, I want to give you some language learning advice because I really want to motivate and encourage language learners to keep practicing languages. And yeah, before I proceed with this, I also want to tell something about my Instagram page. Yeah, because there I have some new videos where I speak Buryat and I improved it a bit. It's a very difficult language. And today I even posted a video on my Instagram page where I speak Russian, Kyrgyz, and Buryat. So if you want to check out my Instagram page, is the first link below this video. Okay, yeah, let's proceed with the video. I want to give you some nice advice because I think this might help. Do you have this feeling sometimes that when you are learning a language, that at the end of the day you're not sure if you saved everything in your brain? That you're like, that you're afraid to forgetting things, and that you're like, all right, do I remember it next day? This feeling is pretty common, pretty normal, I think, as a language learner. I mean, I also often have this idea, but the next day I realize, all right, I didn't forget it. And sometimes I forget some words, but I also don't forget some words. But then a great trick is to realize which words am I forgetting and try to pay more attention at these words and try to learn them more. That's a great way. The second thing what I want to say is that maybe at the end of the day, so when you're learning a language, let's say let's say at 8 o'clock in the evening, for example, that's like a great time. Maybe you can just check out, like you can just think out loud, like what did I've learned today, and like what are the patterns, like what is the structure of the language, what is the how do you say it, like which similarities do you see between some phrases, like about the conjugations, but also the way how phrases look like. So in each language that's different. So for example, Turkish, you will end with the verb. So for example, ben Türkçe biliyorum, then you end with biliyorum. So in each language that's different. For example, in Spanish, it's like quiero hablar español. I want to speak Spanish. Then you see that it's starting with the verb quiero hablar español. Me gusta practicar los idiomas. Tengo que visitar países diferentes, and it's starting with tengo, you see. So that's like very funny that in some languages it's starting with the verb, and in Turkish it's like the opposite. It's ending with the verb, like ben Türkçe konuşurum, Türkçe filme, ben Türkçe filme seviyorum. That's what I'm always trying to do. Like, what is the similarity between uh, I'm trying even to see the similarities between languages. So, for example, I started learning Kyrgyz. I already told you before, and it's a pretty difficult language, but it's also a pretty beautiful language, and it has similarities with Turkish. So, biraz a bit. It's also in Turkish, biraz. So that's what I'm basically doing at the end of the day. I'm thinking like, what did I learn? And not just that, I'm also looking at the similarities with other languages because I want to make sure that I don't confuse them with other languages. And at the same time, I'm trying to learn from the other languages which I already know, because that's a great advantage. If you are able to know, if you can put the languages in separate closets in your head, so a closet for Turkish, a closet for Buryat, a closet for Mandarin, a closet for Russian, and you know where to put the right elements to create the structure of a phrase, to construct a phrase. If you know how to do that, how to use the grammar correctly, man, it's going very fastly. So realizing how a language works, how you have to put the words in a phrase, it's very important. So as an advice, you can even um, yeah, maybe give a short presentation, like about the language itself, just to yourself, just for yourself, to make sure that you understand it. So that's like my advice. Try to keep learning and understand how the language works. All right. I hope that this helps. Another thing what I want to say is that it's maybe good that you are not learning a language when it's too late. So when it's like, for example, 10 o'clock and you're sleeping at 11 o'clock, then maybe it's not good, I think, because you also need some time to rest and to relax. So it's better if you you know, like think about the language at 8 o'clock, about how the language works, stuff like that. Maybe after that, watch a movie, listen to some music, maybe clean the house, do something relaxed. And personally, I think this is the, yeah, for me, this is working. I hope that you can use this advice. If you cannot, if it's not working for you, I can also understand it, because like every language learner is different, has his own or her own strategy. Of course, I respect that. So cheers, guys. Have a nice day.